First is context. So when we're working with an organization, we want to build an understanding of their business goals, their priorities. Again, I can't say that enough. Where do you want to go? And then we want to identify the capabilities that are needed for them to get there. As I mentioned, we use some sort of gap analysis to work out where the current capability is and then to see, where it needs to go. And then we'll also usually incorporate employee self-assessments in a part of that process, but also we'll try to, work with leaders and stakeholders that have some external context as well around that gap. So we're kind of going, what's the self-evaluated gap? But then let's say I'm working with Katrina and going, okay, if you're the leader, what are you seeing? What are you perceiving as the gap as well? So we can really get as much context as we can as we go into this design phase. The second thing we look at is the challenges. So we try to identify what is going to be some of the biggest challenges to getting this program off the ground and to making it effective in terms of actually, getting value in terms of the capability increase. One of the biggest challenges programs face is often buy-in and support from leaders. So, leaders can really, really help roll out a program. They can, change a program from I'm rocking up to this 2-hour online Zoom training to I'm really excited to go do a debrief with my leader after this workshop and to talk about some of the learnings. Or I'm excited to share, a Loom with the wider team around some of my learnings and insights because, my leaders inspired me to do that. So we really strategically think about how we're going to bring the leaders, how we're going to bring the L&D team into this process as well. And then the third piece, and for those of you who love data, I think data is very sexy. There's no point investing in a program if we're not measuring impact, right? I can spend $80 a session on a PT and I, think that's great. But if I'm not seeing, measurable impact in, how far I can run, how fast I can run, what weight I can, lose or gain, whatever my goal is, how can we prove that we're doing anything feasible? So we really, really look at how we're going to measure impact and then also how we're going to communicate that with our stakeholders. And so for you, it's thinking again, how do I measure it? How do I communicate and box that up in a way that allows me to show this, return on learning investment, so to speak?